God, this is not how I wanted to do this segment. This is literally take 3, and I'm like so over it at this point. So if I'm like a bit rushing or whatever the case may be, it is what it is. Like I tried to record twice earlier live, and my kids were just being so obnoxious. So homegirl had to wait. Um, For starters, I want to apologize for last night's video. I mean, it was done in such a dragging way. Like, I fell asleep watching the video, so if you made it, leave a comment because you deserve a shout out and a thank you for watching that entire video because I still haven't even watched that entire video yet. So, yeah. But what's up, guys? It's your girl Chrissy, also known as Whimsical Locks, and that's whimsical underscore locks on IG. Check me out. And currently, I am open to the public. I decided that maybe, every weekend I'll open my page up to the public, and during the week I'll keep it closed. Like, why am I so extra like that? I do not know. But, anyways, this video is obviously 3 days till my lockversary. Holla if you hear me. 3 days. Three. Yes. I cannot wait. Why? It's like, am I doing something special for my lockversary? Yes, I am. I am scheduled, or I haven't officially scheduled it yet, but I've been communicating with the photographer. I will be doing my first official lock photo shoot. And it'll be like a photo shoot for my locks slash pregnancy kind of thing, but it's not like me going to seriously be modeling. It's really done just to document my pregnancy, something real quick in regard to my pregnancy, but mainly focusing on my locks. And no, I will not have a freshly dipped retwist done. My hair will be however I choose to wear it that day, but it won't be a freshly dipped retwist. But anyway, back to the task at hand because I tend to drift. My bad. But in this video, I tend to break down from the first few months to now my additional experiences that I would like to share with you that I've experienced throughout this journey in an orderly fashion. So, you know me, I'm a bit extra. This time I highlighted it. Okay, I highlighted it. But this is the guideline for tonight's video. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. Why every time I like resurface it back, it's just the light just goes different. I'm really trying to find a really good spot to do this because I want to kind of like see if I can prop it on something. Maybe this. Use the hairy underarms too. It's like when you don't have a man, you don't find a need to shave. Isn't that crazy? I used to do it, but now that I'm pregnant, it's just like no reason to do it. I don't do it anymore because I'm pregnant and I don't have a man. So, and yes, I don't have a man and I'm pregnant. Ish happens. Unfortunately, I was engaged a few months ago, which I will no longer. This probably be the last time I acknowledge that. But that's off the record. Anyway, you know what? I'm just gonna put this back over here. Okay. Yeah, because I want to sit back. Yeah, so um, I want to start with my budding experience. Excuse me, when I first experienced budding, it was somewhere between like towards the end of my second month going into my third month. Now, it's really interesting because I felt like I played a big part in the manipulation process in a couple of locks. as far as the budding. Like I was so looking forward to the first phase of my lock journey, which is budding, that I kind of manipulated my locks to bud, or what I thought that's what I was doing, but turns out I was just interrupting its flow. So this lock is easier for me to go to. Here it is. This lock is easier for me to refer to because obviously you can see. So um, I guess in my second or third retwist, I like my second or third retwist, I thought that I was my locks got were starting to get puffy. And obviously, like the bottom of my locks are a lot more mature than the top. So the texture, the grade of hair is a lot different than it is, throughout everywhere else in my head. So when they started to get puffy, I thought it was budding. So when I used to retwist at the roots, as I stated in the last video. So when I got to this, I was just like, oh, it's finally budding. So let me not retwist it all the way down, So I stopped where I felt puffiness, thinking that, hey, that's the budding. But somewhere, like I did it with a couple of locks, I didn't do it with all of them. But somewhere down the line, I was just like, maybe I shouldn't be doing that. So I'm not going to continue to do that. But that's what I did. So I feel like I played God when it comes to budding in a couple of locks. And thank God for palm rolling because I feel like it was an easy transition out of that phase. Let me see. Like it just transitioned itself out of that phase. But I know that you know, it wouldn't look like that, excuse me, had I not tried to play God in the budding process. Now, that was somewhere between my second and third month. And maybe about last month, 11th month, I realized, no, like 10 months, I realized that the front of my locks were just starting to bud. And, like the front of my locks has been a problem since the beginning of my lock journey because the texture in the front of my lock is like a 3C, completely different from every which else angle in my hair. So I thought it was cute. Like, oh, you guys are catching up. How cute. You're growing. But it's just like, dang, a year later, you're just now starting to bud. Okay. All right. I could work with that. So, yeah, I thought that was interesting. Like, your locks bud, but they don't all bud at the same time. Like each lock is like a fingerprint. It is individual to itself. It has its own identity, its own way of forming, its own process, its own journey. And that was just a clear indication of it because each lock is identical. They're not all like mine anyway. That's how I would describe mine. My locks are like snowflakes, okay? There's not one alike. But shout out to those who have all uniformed locks in unison. Um, So yeah, that's the budding section, and now I'm going to tack into the locking maturing phase. Now, it goes hand in hand. When I started to realize that my locks were beginning to mature or lock fully, um, or in the beginning process of that, because I really believe like maybe just the bottom ones are like more mature than any other ones, but I want to say somewhere between 7 to 8 months into my lock journey, that's when I noticed, like, because I had my hair dyed and bleached around 6.5 months. And I remember, like, a few weeks after that, looking at my locks and, like, I don't know if the dye and bleach contribute to it, but I'm now noticing that my locks are beginning to, mature. And that was somewhere between that 7 month phase. So somewhere around then, that 7 8 month, that's when my locks begin to mature. Um, so when it comes to frizz and like my curly ends, um, frizzing for me began obviously in the second, third month when I first realized that my locks were getting puffy, and it didn't end really. I was able to detain the frizz that I had, by palm rolling, as I discussed or 2 videos ago. Um, but yeah, the frizzing, I felt like it was like a bit much. Like I felt like I needed to control it. I know they said that it's part of the journey, and I feel like the frizz that I have now is part of my journey. But I felt like the frizz that I had then before palm rolling wasn't part of the journey. Like I felt like that was because of my hair texture, and I wanted a certain look. So I took matters into my own hands, playing God again when it came to my locks, and started to palm roll instead of retwisting at the roots for that reason. And there is a major difference compared to what I had now. I will say, earlier back then, I don't know if it's because of the products that I was using, on my locks, but my hair was softer and fluffier than they are now. I'm not gonna say my hair is hard, still soft. I don't know. Like, they, my hair was wildly soft, for the grade of hair that I have. So, yeah, we'll see. Fix this. Yeah, I moisturized my locks today, so like I feel like I'm super greasy. I just want you guys to take a look. But moving to product buildup. Now, I'm not sure if it's product buildup or if it's lint, but I noticed in my Cynthia's, and if you watch my previous videos, you know that I refer to my 2 favorite locks as Cynthia's. Now, why did I name them Cynthia's? I don't know. It just kind of blurted out in a video, and like my first lock video. So that's what I decided to call them ever since then. And I wish that I didn't name them that, but that's their name now. That's what I've been calling them for months, and that's who they are. Um, but yeah, they're twins, named Cynthia, and they're spelled one way and another way. I don't feel like getting into details. But, anyways, so when I first noticed that I may have lint or product buildup, it was somewhere around the time that I did my ACV soak, ACV and baking soda soak. So I want to say that was probably around my ninth month, like eighth, ninth month. Um, and I don't have it throughout my hair, so I can't blame it on products. There was just, I would say maybe a total of maybe 4 locks. Definitely these 2. I've noticed that there's maybe 4 or 5. I've noticed that there's something going on. There's white, so I don't know if it's product or lint. So, and I also noticed like I may have like one in the back and like one somewhere in this region. So, yeah, it's not really bad. Like I literally had taken shampoo and literally just like, so I plan on doing the ACV um, lock soak again because I just want to make sure that I got rid of buildup if that is the case. Okay. And next, I want to discuss dryness. When I first started feeling like my locks were dry, it was definitely after I went swimming in a chlorine pool in someone's backyard. Now, I knew that like I was going to, it's chlorine. So I knew that, but the summer heat, in addition to that, really, really, really played a big role. Now, after I went swimming, I washed my hair, moisturized it, conditioning, all of that. I didn't give myself a deep conditioner. I went without a deep conditioner this entire summer up until my last retwist. And that was with my DIY deep conditioning project. And now my locks are restored, thankfully. But I just feel like the entire summer is not good for my locks. So I know what to do next summer because this was my first summer, you know, this was my first summer. This is my first summer season with my locks. So cold weather is not so bad when it comes to my locks. I know people locks respond differently, but for me, cold weather is not so bad. So I just know if it's hot, there's additional things, additional attention that I need to pay to my locks in order for my locks to retain moisture. But right now, I would say that my moisture has came back. It's or coming back, and it's doing really well. And I don't have that feeling that I've been feeling. Like it was like a weight on my shoulder, like a silent, weightless weight. Like you know it's there, but you can't see it. You can't feel it, but you know it's there because it's just weighing on you. I felt throughout this summer that like my locks feel dry. They feel drier than they should be, you know? So that's what I want to say about that. Um, Next is my lock sprinkles. Now, my lock sprinkles were inserted around my ninth month, right before I did the ACV rinse thing. What made me decide to put lock sprinkles in my locks? Let me just be clear. I was looking on Amazon trying to find lock jewels, and I did end up finding one by Heather Fish Collections. She's really dope. Check her out. Um, One of them just came out, but I had it in like for months, and it literally just slid out. Like I was washing with it and everything. So, anyways, back to the what I'm talking about, the topic. But anyways, yeah. So, I was on Amazon, and I was looking for specific lock jewels. Like I wanted the crowned ones, but the ones that I were finding were cheap. And the one that I found that was like pretty was like $15 or something. Like it was just too expensive. So I know that there's this chick that I follow. I don't know her name, but I follow her, and she had. Let me. A good one. So she had little seed beads on the back ends of her locks like this. Not like this, let's be clear. It's something I did with my own, but this is what I've seen. And I really love the attraction that it gave um, in her photos. You know, I felt like, you know what? That is something more permanent because I really like permanent options. um, that is something more permanent, and I like the attractive the attractiveness that it provides in each photo that she takes. You know, it's just like, wow, what is that? Like, what is that? What is that? Like, that's the question. Like, what is that? She was a little reluctant to answer the question, so I did my research, you know. I don't know if she was reluctant. I felt like she was reluctant. I don't know if she was reluctant or, you know, just really had no idea, but she just, you know, she said that, oh, it's beads that, you know, her the loctician did at the time, and you know people were wanting more information, but she didn't have any more information, so I decided to seek, you know, the results myself. So I called them lock sprinkles or hair sprinkles. I think they're officially called hair sprinkles, but I put in like lock sprinkles or something like that that I said, and I put that in on YouTube, and like videos came up, tutorials of how to do it, you know. Well, it wasn't really many tutorials. It was the one, or a couple of them, but the one that I watched, that I seen, was the one with the female doing the tutorial with, instead of using sewing thread, she used like braiding hair to make it a semi-permanent attachment or addition to your locks. I wanted something more permanent, so I decided instead of using braiding hair, I would use thread, you know? So anyways, after like um after watching this video, maybe that same day, I like ran to AC Moore's. No, I ran to Michael's, AC Moore's, um, Walmart, and a dollar store, and that's where all of these beads, aka lock sprinkles, came from. I call them lock sprinkles, but the official person, her name is Amber Mins, I think. She is the creator of hair sprinkles. You can look her up, just hashtag or at, or you know, put it in the search engine, Amber Mins. I'm gonna put the actual information down here because I want to use the right names. I didn't actually have that here, but anyways, yeah, so she was just like really, really, she's really dope at what she did. And kudos to her because she's the originator, she's the creator of hair sprinkles. She was inspired by our African culture. And that's how, like, I guess they used to wear beads onto their hair. So she was inspired to do it that way. But, um, so shout out to her. That inspired me to be creative with mine. You've seen my lock sprinkles. You see me install it. You see me do a tutorial on it because a lot of people were asking, and I wanted to be thorough. So the people who are seeking information, you can find something in today. Like, I think this was an epidemic back in like 2016, 2015, but it's coming back out. I'm doing it. I've seen a couple of other people also doing it. So we're bringing it back out. I think it's different, regardless of who started it or how you were inspired to do it. Um, it do represent our culture at the end of the day, and it does spike a uniqueness and individuality to your locks. So when you do it, it's done in like the way you want it done. So I do intend to add more locks once my locks have fully matured and grown longer. Um, did I lose any lock beads? That usually is the question. I did lose a couple of seed beads, and it's only because, like, you see this. This is a loose strand, so like what I used to do was like try to wrap the needle around to make a little balling and then sew it in there. So it was unofficial. It wasn't really secured as it was supposed to be. So that's why I really try not to do it on the locks that haven't secured itself at the bottom. So let me show you what I mean, because I tend to add. Let's see if I can feel it. Okay, see something like this. See how that's rounded at the tip? It's not really that many loose hairs, so I tend to add, more like a bead here, just to the locks that seem to have matured at the ends of the locks, so that I won't lose any. So a total, about how many did I lose? I probably lost about 4 or 5, and I sold them all back on. Like, as you can see, I literally have the same that I started with. Yeah. So, and as my locks mature, I will add more, you know, in the backs. A couple, like, I don't want to overdo it because my profession is administrative assistant, so I want to be professional, and this is a bit much, but I can do my hair in a way, that it won't be. I do know that once my locks fully mature, I and get longer, like, I plan on adding, like, doing one entire lock. So like as it continues to grow, I will add more lock sprinkles to that lock, just one of them. So I haven't decided what lock that will be yet. But you know, when they mature, I'll make that decision, or as they get longer, I'll make that decision. I'll have a favorite lock. I have favorite locks. These two happen to be my favorites. I also love these. Um, my bleach and dyed locks are my favorite also. So whatever, we'll see, we'll see. Um, so yeah. Next, I want to talk about growth. Now, when I first experienced, or when I first realized my first growth spurt, that was definitely between 9 to 10 months. Um, I was so used to my locks like resting like right here. Like this is where what I'm used to, and then out of nowhere I'm like feeling it all on my neck, and I'm playing with them and coming down here. Now I'm at the point where I can put them in my mouth. Like that's another bad. Does anyone else have that habit? Like I just like, yeah. So I'm at that point now, and that's when I realized, like, wait a minute, my locks are growing. I feel like this side is longer than this side, and let me give you guys a spin. It's easier to tell with the locks that are a lot more mature, you know, as far as the length is concerned. than the ones that still have locking to do, like the ones up here. Well, not all up here, but more so in my perimeter area. But yeah, I moisturized my hair today, so you guys can see. Yeah. So yeah. I'm trying to get, if you can see where it falls on my tattoo. My little carefree spirited birds. You can use that as a reference as my lock journey continues to grow. My tattoo in the back, because I use that as a reference, like, oh, my locks are growing. um, let's see. And since they started, like, since I first recognized my first growth spurt, I feel like they still been growing, most of the time. Some days I feel like, don't look like they're doing anything anymore. And then I feel like, wow, they're like really growing. So overall, I feel like they're still growing, like it's here, it's official. From this moment on, they're growing. um, Up first, it's surprising that I've witnessed this, experienced this, obtained this within my first year locked, but I had a feeling that was going to happen. Okay, I talked about it in the past, but because of lock journey reasons, I'm going to discuss it again. Um, I found my first gray hair. I don't even know like if you can see it because it's honestly not that visible and it's like only boom, like right there. It's a lot more visible when you retwist. Other than that, you have to like dig in it and can't, this lighting wouldn't do any justice. But yeah, I found my first gray hair. I'm 30. I turned 30 this year, and I felt like it's actually on the lock that has bleach on it. So I felt like because I stripped my hair that I knew to expect my hair turning gray. Like I kept looking for it month by month, so it's no surprise that I found it. Now, are there more in my hair? No one has ever mentioned, oh, that they seen gray hairs in the back, and I haven't seen anything as far as I can see, except for the one. Um, I'm not bothered by it now. I think if I experience more than one gray hair, I would be freaked out by it. Like that, then it will be an issue. Then I will have a problem. But for now, I'm cool. Oh, I think my mom's back. Um, and the natural hair remedies that I've tried thus far has been the ACV and baking soda detox. The D. Yeah. Okay, sorry, I had to mute because my mom just came back. So, anyways, um, the ACV baking soda rinse was no, the lock sprinkles were the first DIY. No, we're talking about hair remedies. So the ACV baking soda soak rinse thing, whatever you want to call it, is my first natural hair remedy that I done to my hair. I've also did the DIY deep conditioner with the mayo. I have videos on both. The upcoming videos, I also have done natural moisturizing oil sprays where I use castor oil, extra virgin olive oil, also not sprays, just concoction where inserting oils into my scalp, um, rosemary and all this other extra stuff. Um, the essential, I intend to do a DIY essential oil product. I intend to do the rice water rinse once a month as well. And I intend to do an aloe vera deep conditioner or aloe vera um, leave-in conditioner, all natural. So that's what I have to look forward to. And we're 30 minutes, okay. So this definitely wraps up everything that I wanted to talk about in this segment. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me hurry up and go because time is about up. But anyways, it's your girl Chrissy, also known as Whimsical Locks. And that's whimsical underscore locks on IG. Please be sure to check me out. My page is currently public for the time being. Okay? So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. This is day 3 of my closer to my lock journey, my 1 year lock anniversary. All right. So peace.